And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. This is episode 51 of The Weekly Show, all the week's hottest topics with a twist. To find all of the episodes of The Weekly Show, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube and on Rumble. Rumble is like YouTube, but they're accepting of the free speech. Ryan's with us here. This is very early stages of his new studio. He is currently on the casting couch, ready to talk history, politics, and religion with all of us. Ryan, do you have anything to bring up before we jump into our one of two segments?
No, I'll wait for my segment because it's an interesting story. It's weird how all these things align in my life. So that because I talk history, politics, and religion, they come back to me in weird ways and put me in scenarios to talk history, politics, and religion, even on my off days. So it's pretty fun.
For the record, you put yourself in scenarios to talk history, politics, and religion.
No.
Any scenario becomes a scenario where you talk those three things, which is a thing you've been saying we should be doing.
Yeah, I live by what I speak. Yeah, it's not hyperbole.
Not to totally go against everything Ryan believes in talking history, politics, and religion, but our first headline is none of those things. Headlines! The UK may soon ban boiling lobsters alive in a landmark bill that acknowledges that crustaceans and mollusks, too, are sentient beings.
How fucking crazy is it? You had that headline a few weeks ago about marijuana, and they were measuring... Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
Yeah, to see
it go full
pain
circle.
Effects. Yeah, to see if it... Well, the UK...
Because they're trying to get them high to be like, oh, it doesn't hurt them as bad. It's more humane. Come on, give us our live lobster. We know what this is, people. Kevin was on our program and talked about this. This is them taking meat from you and replacing it with fake shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is what it is, man. I'm going to call it out right now and say it. But it is super funny because it hurts the animal. That's what they're...
To be clear, yeah, probably.
So what about the shit they slaughter in a...
Oh, no, they don't feel that.
You don't feel bad then? Too many is it because you see them alive in the freaking tank when you go to the store? Be like, oh, mommy, look, it's a live thing. And then you take it home and put it in the water. Watch the thing die.
I wonder how far this will go, though, because if this is the starting point,
it is
are we admitting that cows are not sentient beings? I mean, you either got to pick a side. You either know they are and don't care, or you do care, in which point you probably become a vegetarian or a vegan, which makes you weak. But I don't understand. I feel like you either got to acknowledge all beings are sentient, or you don't care. Like it's one or the other. I mean, just not lobsters aren't the only thing that are sentient beings.
It's crazy to think that we evolved. They tell us that we evolved over millions of years of eating meat and finding fire and crafting this thing and like all this stuff. And then they're like, yeah, meat's bad for the environment and you. It's like, if I believe you.
I don't know how far we would have gotten eaten.
Hey, how did we get here? Oh, we hunted until, for millions of years, and then we started growing bread. Huh. Well, that's weird. Now it's bad for me.
It's a weird thing that some people they get really picky about certain things that they feel bad for. That poor, like I don't want to say that I would ever eat a dog because I'm guilty of this too. Like I would never eat a dog, but I'll eat cows and like really they're
really is
I mean, come on.
What it really is desperation. You would eat your dog until you had no other choice, but you would. During the Great Depression, our forebears that lived here during that time ate everything. They hunted all the squirrel, they killed their cats, they ate their fucking dogs, they ate everything because they were so poor. They were picking coal out of the freaking train tracks when trains would go by to heat their food up. Like, yeah, man, the only reason we don't eat our dogs and cats is because we can go to the store and buy a hamburger and live lobster.
All right, so our final thoughts on this. This is going to lead people in the UK to eating dogs.
Yes. Just like in Venezuela.
You heard it here first.
In Venezuela.
Well, yeah. That's more socialism leads you to eating dogs.
There's a pattern.
An incredibly nutrient-rich country that could easily be one of the wealthiest nations in the land. Its people are eating dogs.
Yeah, no, we got to hand grenade this.
Did you see what's his name? Branson? Is that
Yeah, oh,
Virgin
yeah.
Mobile did?
Yeah. The guy that has an island for a house.
So I gotta admit, I'm a little surprised by the price on this. I would have thought flying into space would have been much more expensive than this. It's almost a realistic, attainable goal. No, hear me out. Headline:
Okay. What's
600 people have reserved $250,000 tickets to fly to space with Virgin Galactic, including celebrities like Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio, Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga. I don't care about the celebrities, but the main point is 250 grand to go to space. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money, but I would have thought it would have been a lot more than that.
I thought these fucking assholes care about climate change, but they're gonna go blast holes through the ozone layer.
What are you saying? Are you saying this is bad for the environment to go to space?
I don't know. That's what they tell me. They say I need to stop eating animals and lobsters because it hurts them. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry, I can't help it with these people. They're a lying, hypocrite piece of crap, and especially DiCaprio, the guy that. Oh my god, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, $250,000 to get blasted into space.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
There's probably a couple guys that will do that.
There's some you don't have to be a celebrity. That's a pretty attainable. And really, if going down the line, that'll come down, right? Like I imagine the original plane tickets were probably a lot more than they are now.
Bro, imagine
it sounds crazy, but
people bungee jump now, right? As like a thrill in their 40s. Imagine at 40 having enough extra money in your retirement. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna go blast up into space and come back.
I'm pacing pretty well to retire around 50 if I really wanted to.
Okay.
I'm probably not going to, regardless.
Okay.
I feel like I might just not retire and blast myself into space. It sounds pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
75, it's like leave the Earth's orbit. It'd be like the greatest roller coaster you've ever been on. Like there's nothing will ever. And by then we'll probably have space shuttles. Like you'll actually see them on a fucking cable, like blasting out.
Yeah.
Wait until Musk gets a hold of this and he Appleizes it and makes the ticket go from $250,000 to like $250 million. God.
I feel bad not leaving any money to my child, but going to space is pretty cool.
Yeah, could you imagine leaving your kid a car and be like, I would have left you more money,
but I had to go to space. It's cool, so worth it.
I spent a weekend up at the Four Galactic Hotel and like.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not gonna happen. I'm too cheap to go to a Super Bowl, let alone blast myself into space. And really, you can get like a couple $1,000 tickets to the Super Bowl.
I just wanted to go to Super Bowl 50, right? Because they always use Roman numerals, right? And the Roman numeral for 50 is L. So I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be so funny. I planned this years in advance. I obviously never went, but they didn't use L. They used the number 50. Like they didn't want to put the L on there like a big loser thing. These cocksuckers use them fucking every other year.
Speaking of people who will soon be able to buy tickets to go blast themselves into space, headlines: fast food workers are leveraging the labor shortage to demand higher pay on the anniversary of the last federal minimum wage increase 12 years ago.
Huh.
This is not going to work well for them. This won't go well in their favor.
I thought inflation was providing higher wages, David.
That's what I was told, which is the most hilarious. The fact that they're trying to spin inflation as good, while it's not surprising, it is hilarious.
We talked about it. It's up like 5%. Inflation's normally 2%
it's like
a year.
High, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like since the Great Recession, we keep hearing that. Remember, they coined the term the Great Recession too, which is fucking hilarious. The Great Recession, that was a leftist term they used to categorize the Bush economy, right? Basically.
What were the inflation rates then?
Close to this, I'm pretty sure, like 4.
Oh wow! It was really good times back then.
Yeah. Hope and change.
No wonder Obama kept it going for another 7 years.
Dude, it's just so crazy, that they're spinning inflation. But on top of back to the fast food things, I mean, I'm sure you go to McDonald's right now. They have those kiosks inside.
Yeah.
So there's your fast food higher wages, bro. Is a more expensive machine to touch.
And if you think that's where it stops, you're going to be sadly mistaken.
Moe's around me has a touchscreen drive-through.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need a drive-through attendee. You just wait in line.
Sure, you drive through, pick your order like an ATM machine. You just touchscreen while you're in your car. Pull around and somebody has it ready for you.
Go a step further. Do it on your phone and then roll up and scan the UIR code. You already paid for it. You drive up to the window and pick your food up.
Yeah. How many people does it take to operate them?
0.
I mean,
0. You could literally get all of your food from these very places that they're trying to get higher wages with 0 human interaction. And you know what? Most people might be okay with that. Like, imagine walking into McDonald's and it's like your cafeteria, that the cheeseburgers are just on a slide and you go up and grab what cheeseburgers you want. Like, they just make them and stock them like a fucking vending machine. You just go up and grab fries. They have them filled behind you. When you buy the thing, the machine makes fresh fries, right? Like, this is the Internet of Things. I've talked about it with our home and getting spied on, but yeah, dude, it will translate into replacing people very quickly with assholes. Dude, you don't do anything at those jobs. It's just it's low skill, high repetition.
I think I brought this up on this program a long time ago. The guy's name slips me right now, but he's the guy from Bar Rescue, John something. For whatever reason, I can't remember his name. He was talking about how what's that?
The big Italian guy.
Yeah. He was talking about how he was working with these restaurants when COVID first kicked off, and he was working with a group that was creating a fully robotic kitchen. I mean, they cooks your food and everything for you too. So, and I'm sure it's very expensive to do right now. But man, it's not hard to see in the future of McDonald's literally having no employees at a franchise. I mean, it's not that crazy. It's not that far off.
Well, back to your point about it, being a little expensive. It's expensive until McDonald's starts doing it, because then it's like it almost can become. McDonald's will spend the money on the technology and then sell the thing to fucking independent restaurants, and it's a McDonald's product. Like, they just buy the kitchen, the McDonald's kitchen. It does just program it with a freaking. I mean, say you could smartphone it. You don't even need a screen on shit anymore. UIR code stuff. I work in a plant and we scan stuff with a freaking restaurant thing, but it's all the UIR codes and barcodes, and you don't even need English to communicate with these things to get what you want.
Just imagine this. The year is 2046. All right. You go on your phone. Your phone's not even this anymore. It's like a hologram. It's
probably in your hand.
It's a weird hologram or something. You got Neuralink, so you don't even have to pull your phone out. You just send your thoughts to your McDonald's order. You roll through the drive-thru in your driverless car as you just sit in the passenger seat and scan Google and Facebook with your brain. You pull up to the machine. You get your order. You get your double cheeseburger, your fries, your large Coke. And the fucking ice cream machine is still broke. The future is a great place.
Oh. And to think they're building all this stuff to get blessed. Why do wealthy people want to go to space? It's so funny. They're going to leave us here, bro. It's so funny.
I think, and this is coming from a not as wealthy person, I just feel like it's a really cool fucking place and I want to see it. But I kind of...
Imagine seeing Earth. Tom Cruise was going to film one of his movies in space. Like, he was actually...
Real?
Yeah, pretty sure. If you could, I know. Yeah, the motherfucker's going to be an astronaut for a movie.
Wow, that's awesome. I could just... There's the only thing, though, is...
Dude, he does his own stunts. He's like, yeah, let's fucking just shoot it in space. It's got to be cheaper.
That's nuts. So, yeah, big space rush. Fast food workers want to, make more money, which everyone, I think it's natural. Everyone wants to make more money, but at some point you have to be reasonable and understand that what you do is a certain value. Unfortunately, I mean, it is what it is,
Well, the real problem is because our money is worth less. It's not that you need to make more.
Yeah, no. You're right 100%. What I'm saying is human perception is you always want to make more. Everyone here wants to make more. If anybody watching wants to make more, I'm sure if I asked you want to make more, I want to make more. Everyone wants to make more, but you got to either do something about it or not. Like those are your options.
What's so crazy too is like we live in the age of like when there's literally our kids, all of our Remember when they would shit talk online education doesn't count? You can't use that to go get a skill or a job or all this shit. But we did the whole nation for a whole year and a half on a fucking TV screen. And you're gonna tell me that I can't go home? You don't need college. You just proved we don't need college. Society accepted it, that it was an okay thing. So people at home can. There's a place called Skillshare is one that's coming to my mind that I've heard on other podcasts. But you go on there, it's a monthly subscription or a yearly whatever. You pay a couple $100 and they'll teach you everything, Photoshop and editing. Like, it's college style detailed courses for very cheap. You know, like, yeah, if you're bitching sitting at, I mean, you gotta think like $15 an hour where I live, you know, you're at 40 hours, you're bringing home okay money. It's just everything else is expensive. But back to the whole thing, you have low skill with high repetition, which makes it stressful and makes you think you are worth more money than you are because you produce so much of something. But the thing you're producing isn't valuable. That's why you don't make money. Because the people who make the valuable things have to make all of the money because the shit they make is the most valuable. And if we all value money as a currency, we have to let them get the most money. Like, you can't hate wealth and creation for that too. Like, it goes hand in hand. And, you know, once again, dude, this is the problem with like communism and socialism and some of these ideas is you just like 51% is going to tell the other 49% what to do. And they're trying to leverage that to get their employer to pay them more money. It's going to lead. I remember a headline on this program that I think during the pandemic, a Subway shop increased their wages to whatever, and then they eventually closed because they couldn't afford the increase because they had to increase prices and nobody was going to Subway because a $5 footlong is not $5 anymore. It's $15.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all. I mean, it's all basic economics, and the thing that's nice is if you want to know the truth, you just got to read about it. I mean, it's it's not. This isn't really debatable. It's economics. It's just it. You know, if we're the anti-science right, they're the anti-economic left.
Yeah, which really should be a talking point. Like, that should really be hammered home on the right. It just shows how they're complacent with the narratives being built against us, the people that think like us. They allow it to happen. They are the architects as well.
So speaking of anti-science, this show is going to turn into a COVID show out of nowhere. I feel like COVID should be over, and it isn't. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. We're still talking about it. Headlines. By the way, I like the first two words in this. New normal. Singapore to become one of the first nations to stop counting COVID cases as it plans to treat virus, quote, like the flu.
Oh, that's weird.
Strange.
Dude, I could snap so much shit in half when I hear stuff like that. I know, like, you know, we do this for fun and it's not supposed to bother you, but dude, like, you bankrupted your neighbor for the flu. You told them that they were a piece of shit and called CPS because you didn't want to mask my child or force a vaccine. The military's forcing vaccines now, by the way, they're talking about it. Yeah, that you let them bankrupt your neighbor, your neighborhood, your big businesses. You let all this thing. You let a re-engineering of society. You let new state of emergencies that weren't even asked for get shoved down your throat for the flu.
And it wasn't even. You say they let them bankrupt your neighbor. In some cases, they were actively bankrupting their neighbor. I mean, it was just, you know, if one's bad, the other's worse. You know.
Yeah, the guy in Hamburg won his case against the state again. They dropped his fucking mask thing or whatever it was. I don't even keep up with it because I know the guy's gonna win. Like, this is so clear to me. This is so clear to me. Well, like, these are our Tom Brady's in the political environment. Is guys like that winning those fights, man, winning that Super Bowl trophy, winning that legal case against the state. They don't have the authority. They never have.
Yeah, as you pointed out in the last episode, it's clear to us because apparently we're prophets and we predict the future.
It's not hard to see.
You went to a Cole Beasley rally.
I did.
Very, very recently. Did you hear McDermott spoke up on the Cole Beasley thing?
What did he say?
Well, here's exactly what he said, actually. This is the quote. And at first it started off a little soft, and I was like, oh, come on, man. Quote was, certainly respect Cole's opinion, which is like, okay, fair enough. But then he goes on a little bit further. That's something the whole world has dealt with over the last year, really, since the vaccines have become available. Now we're dealing with new decisions that we have to make. I think the best thing we can do is educate ourselves and build awareness. The individuals have to make their own decisions. You have to respect each other and every one of the positions out there, and at the end of the day, do what's best for the interests of your situation specifically and your family.
Wow, what a politically correct fuck off. I think he supports Beasley, man. And honestly,
I think he absolutely does.
Fucking bet Josh Allen's not getting a vaccine. I would bet.
Well, a lot of other players have come to his defense too.
Yeah, they're
specifically Bills players, but other players also around the league have come to his defense on this.
Yeah, remember what was all the top? You guys ran campaign ads about Black Lives Matter, about stuff that mattered to you then. It sold seats. It sold ad revenue. It went with an agenda. This one goes against it. I'm glad that my hometown Buffalo team is saying shit like this.
I feel like the epicenter of the fight against all of this is Orchard Park, New York.
It's right here, dude.
In a weird way.
My county is the largest Republican voting demographic in all of Northeast America. And you know where the fucking Bills play, baby? Western New York, man.
It's pretty crazy.
The Republican Party was founded in Buffalo.
We talked about that on our first episode.
Yeah.
Because John's
has crazy links to it because he's a freaking Matrix hacker. But yeah, oh my god, man, that is so awesome. I'm glad that McDermott. I did not know, but I have not paid attention to anything socially this weekend because I actually go do things, people, instead of listening to podcasts all day. But like, comment, subscribe. I'm glad that happened though, and I think honestly, I would like to think that little rally in front showed a little bit of support too. I know McDermott's seen that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows? Maybe that gave him a little bit of more courage. That maybe
politicians were there, dude. David DiPietro. I mean, politicians were there.
Yeah, and again, it all stems from Cole Beasley speaking out. One person speaking out leads to a rally, leads to the coach speaking out. The other players speak out. It really only starts with one person. It doesn't take much. Roll
with the Cole, man. There was so many. And once again, the Orchard Park. I talked about it. I was there, like the Orchard Park guy that won his case shortly after. He was there. The
gym owner.
Yeah, the gym owner. The guy, his kid, his brother was hurt by vaccine, spoke out against it, was there, talked about, it's awesome, man.
Well, that leads us into our next one. Headlines. Fauci, speaking of people who won't go away, says it's, quote, inexplicable that some Americans aren't getting vaccinated despite the data.
I thought I only had to wear 2 masks, dude. And social distance and wash my hands and use hand sanitizer. I thought that's what it dies in 30 seconds in daylight, I thought.
Well, it depends on what studies you're believing because, the science is settled, but, there's conflicting data, which is really what matters.
Science, facts matter.
That's what happens in early science. You get conflicting data, you get conflicting reports, you get different tests and studies and different outcomes, and that's why you need to weigh all of it together and keep testing against your theory that, again, this is a scientific process. We're the anti-science, right, of course, so, don't just take our word for it, but this is how science works. You have a theory, and then you test against it, and you test against it, and test against it until you can't prove it wrong. It's not the other way around. It's not settled until you prove it right.
And what about the scientists that are coming out and saying this looks engineered because it's growing at a different rate? It's stronger as it mutates, when normally that's not the case.
The Delta variant.
The Delta, the Indian variant, the English variant.
The Delta variant, did we have that headline? The Delta variant might lead people to need 3rd and 4th doses of the vaccine.
Well, that's weird.
Now, keep in mind, we don't even know if the vaccine has any effect on the Delta variant. Because, again, just like the flu is very ineffective because the virus mutates and the flu vaccine doesn't work against the mutated virus.
There's 2 possible flus in the vaccine. Oh, how many are out there? Oh, 7. Oh. Okay.
I don't want to. Again, I don't like coming off anti-vax because I'm not anti-vax. It's somebody's decision to whether or not they're going to do it. But I'm against mandates for vaccinations, and I'm against being dishonest about vaccinations. I mean, the fact is, when you get a flu vaccine, a lot of times you're getting a vaccine for last year's flu. That's why the rate is so low on its success. But I don't know, the Fauci coming out and saying this, if this isn't related to the next headline, I don't know. It has to be. I mean, we talk about all the time. Well, these people know what they're doing. This is all related. This isn't happenstance. Headlines. The Biden-Harris administration. They didn't say it in the headline, but I'll say it there because we care about the Biden-Harris administration.
You're missing Obama in there too, but
we care about being politically correct on this program. They are launching door-to-door efforts to vaccinate Americans, causing backlash. How do they know what door to go to?
You know what the most dangerous words in the English language are? From the government, I'm here to help.
They're going door to door. Have they knocked on your door yet?
They're gonna get their bricks beat off in some neighborhoods, man. I would love to know the people they're gonna employ if they're having trouble getting police officers right now. The same. Just keep that thing in mind, people. The very people that have to refund the people they shit talked for 18 months of an election, and then a year of this guy's presidency, nearly. Now they're trying to bolster community in the very thing by refunding them, but then they're also going to tell you they're going to have people go door to door, and you think we're just going to be like, oh, yeah. It's also weird because they said there's no database. How do they know what doors to knock on? They're going to pay. They're going to pay people with government money to knock on 360 million people's houses. Do you know how fucking ludicrous that sounds? Do you know how ludicrous that sounds? I thought I was supposed to social fucking distance. I thought we're not supposed to be in big groups. You're going to have one person walk through everybody's neighborhood and touch a fucking clipboard? You guys are fucking jokes. I don't know. We know what this is. We know what they're doing. Talk about it all the time. It's frustrating. Alex Jones taught me well. He taught me to see through the bullshit, man. Go door to door. This reminds me of like, oh, why do you need to have like a registration for guns? Which is weird because the governor of New York, headline, is using the same state of emergency powers that he did for the coronavirus outbreak and response, mobilizing the whole state government to stop gun violence.
Ooh. That's
weird. The last I knew, I didn't hear anybody protesting for emergency power declaration. It's weird. He had, we talked about on this, that he was going to give up his power. His power expired. Didn't take him long.
So,
never let a good crisis go to waste. They made the fucking crisis. They defunded the police in the cities that have increased crime. All of the cities in New York have increased crime. And then instead of refunding them, or like coming to them and be like, yo, we kind of fucked up. You're not even admitting, the government's not going to admit they fucked up, but they're not even coming out and saying like, hey, we have to hear from Fox News. You're a right-winger, alt-right.
It's amazing how quickly they're showing their hand. I mean, we knew exactly what this coronavirus thing was about. It has nothing to do about staying safe during a pandemic.
It did.
It took a little over a year after the pandemic grab of powers to start using those powers to grab other rights. I mean, come on, we knew this was coming.
Dude, where's the war on obesity? Where's the war on cigarettes? Where's the war on alcoholism? Where's the war on drug addiction? Where's the war on mental illness? Where's the other war on homelessness? Where's all these other outreaches that we always hear about? Use government funding for all this, and you're gonna go after fucking gun violence. You know, most people kill themselves with a gun. Most deaths are from suicide with a firearm. 90% of them. The actual shit you learn about is like 10%. It's 5% of all gun crime. Of all gun deaths, related deaths. It's all suicide. And do you know where the rates of suicide are hardest, David? First world countries. Why is there problems in first world countries? Well, all the things you tell me about, homelessness and lack of health care and poor education and poor hygiene, not free condoms and birth control and all these other things, teen pregnancy, fucking drugs in the household, abusive parents, split parents, not graduating high school. social media epidemic on our young girls and young boys, depression in children at the highest it's ever been. The fuck out of here, man. Where's you're gonna mobilize the entire state government to execute powers. He years ago in the New York SAFE Act has funding in there for New York State troopers. He actually appointed, it allows for 2 appointees, I believe, of New York State troopers that report directly to the governor. That's weird. That sounds like Darth fucking Vader and Emperor goddamn Palpatine.
That's
what other?
It sounds like a coincidence, really, that they did that. Oh, what is that now? 9 years ago? How long ago was that?
Yeah, it's weird. 2013. It's weird. It's weird. Just now you're declaring it when you came out at that time to get ahead of even the federal government at that time to have the strongest gun laws in the nation, and the things that you even passed weren't even possible to pass. And you actually had to go back and rewrite parts of the laws because you don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you know exactly what you're doing. You don't know anything about a gun, but that's just what you say. You know exactly what you do when you use the... They say the pen is mightier than the sword, and those lawmen can write away your rights with words. That is why the firearm is crucial, people. But yeah, to mobilize the whole state government, but there's all these other things. In my state right here, lottery tickets go to hire teachers. The raising tax on cigarettes, the sin tax on cigarettes goes to child health care. But you got a New York State government campaign ad on my TV all the time. New York State wants you to quit. We'll do it for free. I thought you got to pay kids health care. I thought you got to hire teachers, but you want people to stop gambling. You say casinos are bad for the environment, and you build them. I'm not talking about the Indian ones because those are all over in our area in particular. Let them fucking whatever. This is crazy, man. But it doesn't surprise me. We talk about it every week. These people know what they're doing. It's planned. This is a strategy. They just prove it. They showed their hand with COVID. You know, once again, what was this state? Puerto Rico, or country rather?
Singapore.
Singapore. Okay. That's obvious. Singapore is like a huge port, literally called port in the fucking name. That thing's been a hotbed for trade and activity in that part of the world forever. And they're just going to be like, you know what? At this level, it's manageable. We have the resources. We probably have all the fucking ventilators that were built in America and shipped all over the globe by the administration afterwards. Like, you can't build that many. You can't build that many ventilators. Be like, what do you mean? We have 7,000 factories in America. Why do we need Chinese products? We have to wait for parts for effect. Get out of here. This is ludicrous. I bet you if Biden was president, he would have rallied the whole power of the federal government to build ventilators. Probably would have done the same exact thing President Trump did. Probably literally the same exact thing. You know why? I bet you the military thought of that. It wasn't the president. You think the president went to a senator on how to build fucking ventilators for 100 million people? You think the president went to a senator or a lawyer or their appointed cabinet members? No, dude, they went to people that, you know, can jack the whole world up in various ways and have it already strategically figured out, and they got that information. Biden would have done the same shit.
Well, that Operation Warp Speed that was put into place, that was heavily relied on the military for, at the very least, for distribution of the vaccine that we were going to have late in 2020. And they were told it couldn't be done, and sure enough, of course, it was done. And then when it was done, they just took credit for it. So
I wonder if they said that about the fucking throughway system that Eisenhower formulated and built. A military man that served in war, came home, built the international highway system for us to drive around on and be like, I need better roads. I wonder if they said that was impossible and he built it all over the fucking country. We're underpopulated as a country, and you know what? You can drive from one end to the other on a fucking interstate. That was built by the Army Corps of Engineering. You know how I know? My grandfather helped build it here locally. Probably happened all over America.
Did he also build the tolls?
He was there, like the parts where he was involved with, yeah, is where a toll bridge went, where the toll roads went. Because that was all in there. They had a constitution. They had a legal contract with its civilian.
And the tolls were supposed to be pulled out after a certain amount of years,
yes,
if I remember correctly.
100%. My grandfather told my dad to burn him to the ground. is what we actually burn them to the ground if they're there in 1990 or something.
That sounds like an insurrection.
Yes. It's an insurrection of my civil liberties that there's a toll booth there. It should get burned to the fucking ground. I should be able to move freely across the state that I pay for. You shouldn't be able to raise and levy taxes and just have state of emergencies for no fucking reason because you're a cocksucker.
Before we get to why you were Decembertained or any other things that you had, I was thinking about the insurrection.
Oh yeah.
Everyone, who did, like, I'm going to ask you this, like, if you talk about the insurrection, who is blamed for the insurrection?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Okay. At any point, do you think anyone on the left should have been blamed for this?
The insurrection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the entire media and any politician that promoted when their side was able to freely protest, but the other side was not able to freely protest. Yeah, you can tar and feather these people. I don't want to feel bad for them. That's what I'm trying to do.
I don't think anyone is more responsible for the insurrection than the media in this country. I think they've done such a terrible job. They've pushed I'll admit it was a small group of people who went there and acted out, and it was, for what it's worth, I mean, it was relatively calm. I mean, we talked about the fact that they were let in. First of all, they were let into the building. But secondly, none of them were armed. No guns were found. This very violent insurrection, other than a video of a wild dude with a stupid hat on, not a whole lot was. I mean, pretty minor stuff. People who were acted in violence should be, charged for the violence they acted in, or whatever the case might be. But again, I mean, not one single gun was there. No guns were found, and we had a president kicked off Twitter. And I don't think I can point to any one group in particular more than the media who I would blame for the insurrection. I mean, just the divisiveness of the media now is it's crazy for groups of people who are supposed to be, on no sides, not on both sides, on no sides of politics. I mean, they're supposed to be, here's the facts and here you go. That's it.
Dude, I feel sorry for people that don't pay attention. Like, dude, imagine just like, oh yeah, no, it was an insurrection, and we do this every week. They only catch it one time. That's the only thing they see about politics for the whole year. Insurrection, those crazy right wingers with their American flags that are symbols of hate now. Symbols of hate. Save the whole world from atomic and nuclear fucking calamity, though. 1 trillion atomic warheads later. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You're 100% right. They're actually beyond ones to blame. I would argue that they are the insurrectionists. They should be tried as treasonous because the things that media did. If the pen is mightier than the sword, right? Donald Trump's words on Twitter caused the insurrection. Donald Trump's words at his speech caused the insurrection. If the pen is mightier than the sword, then the media is more to blame as insurrectionists than the people that were actually there in the building, that did the act, that was the sword. Their words, their media, their narrative, their direction, everything articulated by them, that's more mightier than anything that happened at the insurrection, 100%. We have pictures. Use your smartphones, people. You can Google the pictures of Washington, D.C. burning for like, I don't know, wasn't it like 20-something days? And then Trump came out and cleared them, and they're like, oh my God, he's trying to fire at protesters. I mean, how do you... I feel sorry for people that don't pay attention. I really do, man. Because I know I came on here and I said, especially with Crowder going through what he's going through, and we're losing another voice potentially. He's been out because of sickness. He just got like surgery or whatever, something crazy. But my point is, like, any of us could be taken out of this battle. This Paul Revere. We're all Paul Reveres when we speak politics, religion, and history in public. Which is exactly what I did this week for my Decembertainment.
Ooh.
You're right, Dave. The shit I speak, it comes back to me because I literally like bring it on myself by putting it out in the universe. I agree with you. But I always say, like, it's like, yeah, it just happens to me. But you attract the shit you put out. But I enjoy it. That's why it's so awesome for me. Because I shit talk a lot of shit in public, and then it comes back to me, and it's very cool. So I'm standing in line at the bathroom with a buddy of mine. We went to a beer tent this weekend. Of course, everybody was vaccinated there. They identified as vaccinated. And I'm in line with a guy, and I'm just being, I had a couple beers. I was being a little obnoxious, having fun. I've been working really hard. I've been not had a lot of time to play, so I enjoyed it, right? America's birthday was just passed. Everything's pretty good in life. And I bump into the guy behind me, and I don't know what I said to him, but I told him, I was like, man, you look like a cop. He leans in, he's like, I am a cop. And then I started talking like fuck Cuomo shit. He's like, yeah, fuck Cuomo, right? So this is like, once again, I know I can't, that guy, like what McDermott's doing, Cole Beasley's doing, like Cole Beasley's willing to die on the cross for all the people that can't speak. I speak for that police officer because he can't speak. He's probably a minority. And so we ended up letting him go, and we ended up talking with the kids behind us, actually. They were very young people. And the guy went in the bathroom and came out, and he's like, just so you know, I'm not bullshitting you. And he like flashed his badge all discreet and stuff. It was very cool. I felt mighty thankful to like just bump in this guy being like I said, I was being a little obnoxious, having fun, making people laugh. I was laughing, my friends are laughing, and then just like have this story. So anyways, my buddy's in the bathroom and I'm waiting, and the kids behind me make conversation with me. And I hear about him being a Marxist. 22 years old, he's I'm not a communist, I'm a Marxist. The kid's got an iPhone, he's got Jordans on, he has Adidas shorts on, or Nike basketball shorts, has a fucking Yankees hat on. Like, you're literally the epitome of capitalism right now. You're the epitome of wealth, right? Like, you have access income to buy nice clothes. And you're gonna bitch. Kids that don't know anything. This all dovetails perfectly. This is why we do this program. Like, literally, that's why I have to do this, and I have to speak to these people, because they don't know. This kid was openly all fine with taking people's wealth to give to him. I told him, I looked at him dead in the eyes, and I said, name another system that's pulled more people out of poverty in human history. He knew the talking points. He knew what I was going to say. He didn't understand it. That just proves me a kid never went through real hard times or came from nothing. Like some other people in this system. Like Elon Musk, a God-blessed migrant, and dude's blasting rockets to space. I mean, how many success stories do you need to hear? Jay-Z's a prime example for black culture, right? We always hear about Jay-Z, Hove. He's directing the whole hip-hop narratives, everything else, electing black people, all these things, all this great stuff. Think he did that without wealth? There's a video that went around TikTok as this rich guy. I've seen him before. I think Rogan had him on. And he got super pissed off at people. He's like, you're trying to help people and you can't help yourself? He's like, you can't do shit for people unless you're rich. Because when you have more than enough, you can give the person beneath you enough and maybe a little bit more. And the better you do, the more people you can help, because you can set yourself up. And then when you're successful, you can help someone else be successful. And in your success, you can even be more successful. You build community, you build relationships, you build generational wealth. The things they demonize, literally the things that built the fabric of this fucking nation. And I'm told every week is racist. I got to hear from a 22-year-old entitled kid that was born post 9/11. That's really what it is. That's really what it showed me. Post 9/11. And then we're going to live in kids, we're going to meet kids when they're 20 and we're 40 or whatever, and they're going to be post-COVID kids. Because the world has been shaped underneath them under these catastrophes. Stolen civil liberties, the things that made America America, make America great again. Biden's talking about go America all of a sudden. I thought that shit was white racism. These people steal your history, steal your terms from you, reverse language, and use it to hijack your entire society, close your business down and bankrupt your grandparents. And then I gotta hear from a 22-year-old kid who's literally dressed like the fucking epitome of fuckboys in America at his age, trying to dunk everything like a college broad. He's trying to do all this shit in his life, and I got to hear from him as somebody that had to work for everything my whole life. One of the most successful people in my family. And I have a long way to go. I feel like I haven't done enough. You guys hate wealth, you demonize it. I won't stand for it. So yeah, my Decembertainment was going to a beer tent and laying into a 22-year-old for about 2 minutes.
That can mean two things depending on the context.
He's legal, so I'm straight as well, but I am on a casting couch, so.
Yeah, I'm half expecting him to join you on the couch.
Be like, he's actually right here.
Decembertainment. I like Decembertainment. I want everyone watching to be Decembertained. I want them to be Decembertained by watching us on the Rumble or the YouTube if you prefer, but I prefer the Rumble. Rumble's great. It's literally YouTube with free speech. It's the coolest thing. If YouTube was a platform, that's what it would be. Rumble.
Are you saying cool. Are you saying YouTube is a publisher?
I'm saying that they should admit it, but they won't for legal reasons.
Can't let that black and white slip us away, Dave.
Go follow us. Go follow us on Rumble. Follow Ryan on TikTok. We have a TikTok too, but I haven't done anything.
For the record, I slacked on the TikTok the last few weeks, but I did see plenty of material.
Are you insinuating that you got some TikToks coming?
I should really put it to worse though, but I opened TikTok yesterday and some broads are still sending me messages about, we do it for ourselves. No, bitch, you don't. If you did it for yourself, you go to Walmart and spend less fucking money. Get out of here.
For those who don't know, Ryan's TikTok is the misogyny TikTok, and it's a glimpse into the Pro Guy Misogyny podcast that I hope to be seeing shortly, later this year. Hopefully, we'll see.
I'm in the stewed, bro. So I gotta put it together.
Studio is slowly getting set up, and if you subscribe and follow along, you can be part of this. You can slowly watch the studio come together. Right now, it's just Ryan and a couch, but you know.
Yeah, and if you want to mail me things, let me know. I'll hang it on the wall. You know.
Speaking of mail you things, really what I should do is just, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see you soon.
I'll see you soon.
At some point. Because I got stuff to give to you.
What I should do is just come out next week for a December anniversary.
That'd be wild.
I'll see. Wow, I can't believe I didn't think about this sooner. This is really piss poor planning, people.
Yeah, no, this is
This is live broadcast, man.
For the record, this is pretty much how the show comes together, literally with no planning whatsoever. Even the first episode was literally not planned.
We didn't even plan to make a podcast from that day.
No, we really didn't. The first episode wasn't like we didn't sit down and say like we're going to do a show and here's what we're going to do and here's how we're going to get there.
We didn't even have segments.
It was like, I have equipment and I need to test it to see if this works. And Brian's like, all right, I'll come on and call you. That was literally the founding of the show.
Oh man,
that's pretty crazy. Yeah, no, and that was 51 weeks ago.
51.
Because we've been doing it weekly since, which means next week is the anniversary of the show.
It's our Decemberversary.
Yeah, who knows? We'll talk about that. Maybe we'll do in studio.
That'd be so dope.
If it is weird, studio, it's going to be a super high quality broadcast because Skype. Right now we do Skype, and the bandwidth on Skype only allows so much, so it kind of kills the quality. Realistically, right now my camera quality is pretty decent. It's really not that bad. Right. However, once it goes to the internet through Skype servers and then back down to reality, it is now shitty. This thing that was nice is now shitty.
It's like I'm picking up with an antenna receiver still, you know. Broadcasting a smartphone image, I'm picking it up on bunny ears.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, man, when we get off, send me your address. I'll punch it in my phone and I'll see what I can figure out. But yeah, I guess until next week. Thanks everybody for watching. This is Dave and Ryan, December 1773. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. And yeah, follow us on Facebook as well. Dave has an Instagram, December 1773. I'm on all the platforms, Wallace Laughs. So look me up, TikTok, everything. But yeah, we drop 7 Eastern Mondays. Yeah, thanks everybody. If you like the video, share a video. Until next week, and look forward to the premiere tomorrow.
Sounds good. I'll see you then. Thanks, everyone.